Morning, children. Today we begin lesson 4. All children are special. God loves us and has given us many wonderful gifts. You have loving parents, brothers, sisters, and friends. However, everyone is not the same. So, children, you all know that God has given us everything in life. All the gifts of nature, everything is given by God the Almighty. We have loving parents, brothers, sisters, friends, a loving family. However, everyone is not the same. But there are some people who are not same or similar like us. Let us read on to understand better. You can hear, move, speak, and smell. You can sing, shout, and read a book. There are some children who cannot speak, some cannot hear, and some cannot see. These children have a handicap and are dumb, deaf, and blind. They are special children. However, they have feelings like you. So, in this lesson today, we are going to speak about children who are special or differently abled. So, we all can hear, move, speak, and smell. We can even sing, shout, or read a book. But you know, children, there are a few children who cannot speak, they cannot hear, they cannot see. So they have a handicap and they may be dumb, deaf, or blind. People who cannot speak are called dumb, people who cannot hear are called deaf, and people who cannot see are called blind. Now, these children are special. But remember that although they're special, although they are different from us, even they have feelings like us. They enjoy playing games as much as you do. There are special schools where such children can go. Some very famous people have had handicaps. One such person was Helen Keller. She was blind and deaf but learned to speak 5 languages. So, although they're special children, they have feelings and even they enjoy playing games. You know, there are special schools for such children. You have the blind school, or where they teach you how to write using the braille system, and you have some schools for speech therapy where they teach the deaf and the dumb how to communicate. Some very famous people have had handicaps, and one such famous person was Helen Keller. She was blind and deaf but learned to speak 5 languages. So, the story of Helen Keller, I've given it towards the end. You can watch it and understand it better. Helen Keller had so many handicaps. She was blind, she was deaf, but she was very brave and courageous. She put on a good fight and learned to overcome all her disabilities, and in the end, she was able to speak 5 languages. Special children have special ways of expressing themselves. The deaf and the dumb communicate with, so special children have special ways of expressing. As they are not very much like normal children, they have different ways of expressing themselves. Let us look at how the dumb and the deaf communicate. Generally, people who are deaf are also dumb. If they cannot hear, they cannot speak. Let's go to the next page to see how they express themselves, how do they communicate. Continuing from the earlier page, the deaf and the dumb communicate with others using sign language. A few such signs are shown below. Each picture stands for one letter. So we just understood that if they cannot hear, they cannot speak. So how do they communicate? How do they express themselves? So they learn the sign language, and using signs they are able to express what they want to say. So each picture stands for one letter. For example, if they want to say gay, they'll do this. So if they want to say that they're happy and gay, this is how they're going to express using sign language. So children, we must learn to give them a lot of love and compassion and treat them just as we would have treated any other friend in our class. Okay, children? Do not treat them differently. They are just like one amongst us. Now, I've given a few pictures at the end. See, the middle one, it's the Braille system which helps the blind children read and even write. And there are a lot of activities going on for special children to help them overcome their disabilities. So let's learn to give them a helping hand. Let's now discuss the questions given at the end of the lesson. Question 1. How do deaf and dumb children communicate with others? Deaf and dumb children communicate with others using the sign language. Question 2. How can you help a special child? We should not treat them differently. Treat them just as you would have treated any other friend in your class. Treat them with love and compassion. Always remember that when God has given you two hands, it's also to help. It's not only to receive but also to help out. So always lend a helping hand to these special children. Just read about Helen Keller, the special child with so many disabilities. Yet she was able to overcome all her disabilities and she could even speak 5 languages. She was an inspiration to everyone. So log into the link provided and have a look at the story of Helen Keller.